chose to do my report over the children of Syria. In 1963, the socialist group Ba'ath had lost office and a new reign of rule came in 1971. Ruling has been Syria's president Bashar al-Assad and his family. The beginning of the civil war started when the citizens of Syria had a protest that widely spread throughout the nation to remove their president Bashar al-Assad from office in 2011. The protesters were met by the nation's military and were fired upon by orders of their president. The internal war had begun. Known as Arab Spring, the Middle East as a whole began to protest. The countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar began to fueling the rebels with supports with weapons. The death toll since 2011 has reached up to 120,000. The battle still continues to increase the toll every day. To make things worse, the Geneva Convention, which is a contract that is to not use chemical weapons, has been broken. Evidence of this is found in the city where nerve gases claim the lives of people, including children, while they sleep. Caught in the middle of it, the Syrian children are innocent for all the fighting. Facing dangers every day, the count of dead children from the result of bombing and shooting is nearly 6,000, and that is 2,000 deaths more than the women's death toll. The children suffer great losses and even lose their lives, but sometimes, by the help of others, they can experience a bit of happiness and forget what they've been through for a little while. I chose this topic because I want people to be aware that there can be beauty found in humanity in the most hostile and unforgiving places. The life of a child that has been raised in a country with civil war is hard. Friends and family are lost, and so are the commodities most children have. Imagine being forced out of your home because constant bombings and shootings in your cities. Nowhere else to go, your family takes shelter in a temporary camp with dirt floors and tents for homes. If you were lucky enough to make it into a refugee camp, that is. I would like to tell about a true story of a 13-year-old boy who experienced what he experienced after a military assault happened in his hometown in Syria. His town was under attack and barely escaped with a refugee group to Libya. He sometimes had to crawl through the frontiers on his stomach to avoid getting caught by the military. That were being guarded by the Syrian military. He finds safety with an orphan program that interviews him. After being asked about his mother and father, he says, "My mother was crying. She could barely talk. She said your father had died," and then the phone cut off. His mother actually stayed behind in Syria to ensure her husband is properly buried. Another example are two sisters that had a reporter ask about their lives, and one said that she was scared of the sound of airplanes, quickly being interrupted by the other that said she was not. After being asked why not, she said, what's the worst that can happen? Dying would be a better life, even without knowing whether I'd go to heaven or hell. The other sister mentioned how she was traumatized after being shot at while riding her bike, which has never been properly dealt with and probably never will be. Hope, even through all the bitterness, there can still be hope found with the collaboration of 8 volunteers, mostly all being from different countries, coming together for the purpose of providing food, shelter, and education for the children to make a heaven for them that come from such a destructive area. Summer camps. The camp being located on the border of Turkey and Syria, they spend 10 days volunteering and risking their own safety. At the time when the group that came to aid the children in the U.S., the U.S. was deciding to attack, so it made the mission even more dangerous. But they continued anyways because they knew that the people that were so-called leaders wouldn't do anything about the children. They collected donations and headed over as soon as they could. What the children get from the camps? The camps give the children a chance to learn, since most of the refugee children do not attend school either because they don't have books or haven't yet been accepted into a refugee camp. Just learning to read can help improve the child's life and help move them out of the life of poverty. What they hope to accomplish is, with the volunteers, they have noticed that the children have lost something, their innocence. The children speak of things like losing their homes and family members. The volunteers mostly worry about the mental health of the kids. They are concerned of how the generation would fare without a serious intervention. This speech wasn't meant to be taken lightly. The generation of children in Syria can be permanently affected by the war going on. Millions of children will grow up in the life of chaos and may lose their willingness of education and better life by accepting the lifestyle currently taking over. The camp team building exercises and classes can make the children desire for more. It can make leaders and political figures that could eventually bring the country out of the civil war and make their country a place of peace.